This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening. I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Topping the news tonight, the first round of voting in the gender equality referendum taking place today. The advance poll taking place throughout the country ahead of the June 7th referendum. The Police Training College served as the voting center. Here on Grand Bahama, Joan Davis-Rowe reports.
Hundreds turn up for the advance poll here on Grand Bahama, a build-up to the June 7th gender equality referendum. Tuesday's electoral process held at the Police College began shortly after 8 a.m. The hierarchy of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, including Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Emmerich Seymour and other senior and some plainclothes officers, turning up throughout the day to participate in a democratic process tailor-made for law enforcers and others who will play a pivotal role come referendum day. Assistant Parliamentary Commissioner Reno Smith.
Some 671 persons who were selected to vote in the advance poll here in Grand Bahama. And the advance poll basically consists of military personnel, that is, police officers, defense force officers, and of course parliamentary staff and poll workers. Out of that 671, so far we've been having a smooth transition, people flowing in very smoothly this morning.
Smith, in an assessment of the electoral process, admitted that there were some hiccups.
We had one or two glitches. Persons showed up to vote, but their names were not on the advance poll. And that could be for one or two reasons. If the persons in charge of the defense or police force did not submit certain officers' names, those officers will not be disenfranchised in any which way. They will simply be allowed to vote on the 7th of June with the rest of the populace.
Then there were the civilians, Smith said, who were granted special permission to vote in the early poll.
We had some 14 persons who applied to vote in the advance polls. They were all given their certificates of eligibility yesterday to present along with their voters' cards to the returning officers this morning.
Smith confirmed that as the Parliamentary Registration Department prepares for this national exercise, the assistance of professionals and civil servants will also be needed on Grand Bahama.
All poll workers are basically being given the privilege to vote today because they must be at their polling stations to assume their duties on the 7th of June, and so we can't have them absent on the actual referendum day.
Joan Davis-Rowe, ZNS Network News.
Leader of the United Democratic Party and Member of Parliament for Marco City, Greg Moss, weighing in on the upcoming referendum. Moss says he believes that the 4 bills are not necessary and does not need to be changed in the country's constitution. This Thursday, Moss will host an informational town meeting at the Bahamas Union of Teachers Hall in Pioneers Loop.
I am one of those persons who have made it very clear that I do not believe that these constitutional bills have anything whatsoever to do with gender equality. They have to do with citizenship for bills 1, 2, and 3, citizenship which could be dealt with under Article 13 by a simple act of Parliament, and sex under Bill 4. And I've been encouraging people throughout the country not to be deceived by this, to come out and exercise their franchise, to come out and vote. And to that end, we have had meetings throughout the country. There's a town meeting this Thursday at the Bahamas Union Teachers building near to the Jack Hayward High School, where I will be addressing persons as the Member of Parliament for Marco City.
Moss once supported 2 of the bills, but now he says he is voting no across the board. He is encouraging members of the public to become educated on the 4 bills and to exercise their voting rights.
My position in the very beginning was that Bill 1 was worth saving, and I was voting clearly against Bills 2 and 4, and I had grave concerns with Bill 3. Because Parliament went and changed Bill 1 and refused to make Bill 1 retroactive, meaning that the very deficiency that we were saying that we were going to correct of addressing citizenship for all Bahamian women married to non-Bahamian men having had children outside the Bahamas, that deficiency will no longer be addressed in Bill 1. I can no longer support Bill 1. So I'm voting against all 4 of the bills, and I'm encouraging everyone to vote against all 4 of the bills.
Citizens can vote this June 7th using their 2012 voter's card, or a passport. A fully Bahamian-owned mega-tourism investment is beginning to unfold on Taino Beach. Phase 1 of Grand Bahama's zip line and water park was officially commissioned on Sunday and is now open to the public 7 days a week. Megan Shepard tells us more.
Grant that this undertaking
Phase 1 of the
will
Bahamas Zip water
continue
park
to be
officially
developed
opened Sunday afternoon
prosper.
with a blessing of the grounds. The water park is located on 7.43 acres of land that will feature various attractions and activities and, of course, some good Bahamian food. Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Opie Wilscombe, commending the group of Bahamians for coming together and investing in this project. He says there are many international investors interested in doing business in the Bahamas, but Bahamians must be at the forefront and take advantage of the opportunities available.
If we want to take advantage of this industry, then what we have to do as a people is understand that we can be the hotel owners, that we can own the marinas, and we can cause for the mega yachts to come into our shores, that we can work with the cruise lines as David and his team working with the cruise lines, that we can cause for further growth and development of our economy, as opposed to sitting down complaining and saying nothing's happening.
President and his CEO David Wallace says this has been a vision of his for the past 5 years, and he is pleased to see the dream turned reality thanks to many that believed and invested in his vision.
We came together, a group of 8 Bahamians, who later expanded with some 20 other persons, who all pooled their resources and have come in the first phase of this theme park.
Senior Manager of Business Development at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Derek Newbold, says he admires the passion that each investor holds.
Not only will this project improve the offerings here on island in terms of helping to diversify our product offerings in the tourism sector, it also symbolizes something that we can all try or seek to replicate in terms of a group of Bahamians coming together to achieve a common goal.
The project's youngest investor and landscape architect, Evan Cartwright, welcoming family and friends to the grounds.
We welcome you to share in this vision, the vision of a Bahamian-owned theme park and zipline development. 100% Bahamian-owned. Bahamian-owned, invested, Bahamian built, designed, all Bahamian. So, welcome to your park. This isn't our park. We did the design, we did the work, but we built this for everyone.
Bahamas Zip will be opened in phases and is expected to be completed this summer 2016. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, vendors at another tourist hub are hoping for improved business in the months ahead. The arrival of the Carnival Breeze 1 week ago brought good news for the vendors. They say additional vessels will certainly enhance the business climate at the Freeport Harbor. Cleopatra Murphy has that story.
Vendors at the Freeport Harbor are calling for the arrival of more cruise ships at the harbor, saying when more are in port, business is much better. The Carnival Breeze that made its inaugural call on Grand Bahama Wednesday was one of 2 ships berthed, and many welcomed the arrival that saw the Freeport Harbor buzzing with activity. Among them was Siobhan Roll, who talks about some of the challenges vendors sometimes face.
We do have some days that are a bit slow depending on what ship comes in, and then what is a determining factor as well is how many ships are in port. If we have 1 ship, it can be a bit slow, but then if you have like maybe 2, then, because 2 is our capacity, then it's going to be more excitement, more people walking.
Proprietor of the Burger Boy and Girl, Vernique Smith, says many weeks they work only 2 days. She says Wednesday was a good day as they were kept busy with 2 ships in port.
You have quite a bit of tourists that are in the area and business is pretty good. So as long as we can keep it going this way and with this stamina and the tourists coming at this magnitude, the harbor and everyone will have great business out here.
Vendor Denise Smith says she looks forward to the days when the harbor is filled with tourists, when multiple ships are in.
It's better if you have more than 1 cruise here because everybody gets to make something. Some people don't make like that. It's better to have more than 1.
Employee at Island Jeep and Car Rental, Stanley Pierre, says some days business is slow and he would love to see more busy days.
Really appreciate Carnival Breeze coming in because it was very busy for us. and the people coming off it are very pleasant. And then they said to us they love the island and they love the people from the island also.
Vendors say with more cruise ships and passengers coming to the island, business can further improve and lead to more employment for Bahamians, particularly at the Freeport Harbor. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there's more news after this.